Dzień dobry. Hello, everybody. That's it with Polish from my place. Welcome, everybody, to one of the first parallel sessions about education. I'm very happy to have at least 3 of my 4 speakers here. Warm welcome to Janice Richardson from InSafe, to Marcin Zawodki from NCF, and to Zuzanna Rudnicka from TP Group Foundation Poland. Janis Lauris will show up later, I guess. Yeah. Just a short question in the beginning, which might be interesting for our speakers as well. How many of you are teachers or pedagogues or one, two, translation. Okay. Well, I think we should just get started. I may welcome Janice Richardson, coordinator of InSafe, which is the network of awareness nodes in Europe. And she will tell us, first of all, about the tasks and objectives of InSafe in general, and also about the objectives in the near future, I guess.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. And let's see if I can find my presentation. Yes, it's a great pleasure to be here with you today. And to talk a little bit about InSafe and what InSafe does. But what I would like to tell you first of all is that I also am a teacher. I was a teacher for 11 years in Australia, back in that period where we used to dream if only we had a form of technology to improve our teaching, but we didn't think about all of the side effects that were going to come along. So I share your fears as teachers, and later in my career as a teacher trainer and then as a researcher, I really came to understand all of the implications of being a teacher. Let's hope that I can give you a little bit of help today. Oh. So, what is InSafe? InSafe, you heard about it a few times this morning. We are a European network for internet awareness. Each of our 25 nodes marked here, and I don't know, Malta is now disappeared as a node. We no longer have one. So each of our 25 nodes that exist today work towards making the internet safer, but they also work towards setting up a helpline where people can call, where young people can call, contact, and get help. But we do a number of other things also. We run youth panels so that we can have a better idea of what young people are concerned about and how we can help them. We put out a lot of awareness-raising material. We try to keep just that one step ahead of the youngsters to know really what we can do to help young people benefit from the opportunities, all of those opportunities you heard about this morning, but also avoid the risks. Now, the InSafe nodes are a very complex setup because we have all sorts of people working as nodes. You heard from Germany this morning, a communication and broadcasting organization. You heard from Nobody's Child Foundation, an NGO. In Sweden, we have an education ministry. In other countries, we have other very different setups. This is the first thing I would like to say. InSafe is already a multi-stakeholder approach. But what we have discovered is that if we're really going to be effective, if we're really going to be leaders in the field, then we need much more. We need to make sure that our approach to raising awareness is as broad and fine-tuned as possible, and this implies having a very broad and deep understanding of the needs of children, of what industry is working on right now, of what NGOs are doing, and all other aspects. So this requires us to extend our multi-sector approach even further. Secondly, we all know that the European Commission is extremely generous. However, that would not get TV spots like Wari's class that you saw this morning, actually up and running and a really professional job. We need the funding also of other organizations. Not only the funding, we need their knowledge. So this is the second reason why we have a multi-sector approach, because then we can all put a little bit into the pie and get a very good pie out of it. Thirdly, expertise. As I've explained, we have a lot of expertise, but we need your expertise, the expertise of teachers and of many other lawmakers, for example, the police. This is why we believe that only a multi-sector approach can really work. In this multi-sector approach, we've done a number of activities, and if you read the little blurb about what I'm speaking about, you heard that we work with the Council of Europe, but that's more human rights, legislative. And we have put out a very good game with the Council of Europe called Wild Web Woods, and you all have the link. InSafe was responsible for contributing to this. But recently, we tried something that was much more commercial. We went along to people like Vodafone, Yahoo, all those people that you see here, and we said, hey, listen, you're putting out a lot of good material, a lot of good social networking sites, but we don't think you're doing enough. Put your money where your mouth is, use our expertise, and really do something for teachers. We all need your help. And if you're wondering why, teachers are encountering a lot of problems today that we really didn't expect. Let me give you an example. And this is an example that you see half a dozen times a year in each country. Young teachers are like other internet users. They love to have their profile on Facebook or on MySpace or wherever. And what happens? They have intimate photos up on their personal site. And next thing, they have an argument with their boyfriend, and their boyfriend or girlfriend disseminates this information, opens the profile to the public. And in Belgium, just about 2 months ago, a young school child got hold of these intimate photos, went to the headmaster and said, hey, listen, look what my teacher sent to me. You can understand the implications. And when we looked at these sort of episodes, we said teachers need a lot more than the information they need to give to their pupils. What teachers need is to learn how to protect themselves online, how to protect their private information, but also how to find information for their pupils. So together, and European Schoolnet, for whom I work as a stakeholder in this, we created a website called Teach Today. And I really think it's worthwhile bringing your attention to this. Although it was launched in April, the Polish site is not online yet. It will be in the coming months, and we're working with teachers nationally so that we can make this a really good site for you. Here is the site. There are wikis, there are blogs, there are all sorts of things to permit teachers to communicate between each other. And I think that you can see here, from this multi-stakeholder approach, we have been able to produce something that normally our project could not cater to. So what was the added value of this website? Teachers are protecting themselves online. They're getting a lot of information on all sorts of subjects. Go to the site and see. And we were able to get the very best resources that InSafe have ever created for teachers and to draw them all together into one repository, clearly defined and described, so teachers now can go there and get everything they need. This, I think, is one example, but this is for teachers. Let's look at another example. Families. Families need a lot of help. I think above all because it's so difficult to dialogue about these things. How many of you have ever gone home to your children and asked them who they were talking to on internet today? I do it. Okay, That's a pretty good percentage. You're much higher than the national statistics, which is normal because you're an aware public. We went to the cable provider, UPC, Liberty Global, and we said, come on, you should be doing a little more. InSafe have a lot of resources for parents and for children. And once again, you all have this. We said, help us bring together InSafe's resources. Write a storybook for young people. Create exercises for young people. That's not a good page, but there are other more colourful ones. Wrap it up in an attractive kit. Create a parent booklet that keeps the parents just about 2 steps ahead of the pupils. Thank you. And here you have a parental guide which goes through exactly the same chapters as the child, but just keeps that step ahead. And finally, we added in some nice smileys, but you'll have a look at your kit later on, and a family certificate where the family have to dialogue and make their family rules. Now, I'm quoting this, and here I'm falling behind. So here we have Liberty Global's, and I must say, Liberty Global have been very generous. At €2 a kit, we're now going towards 200,000 kits. No EU project can pay for this. You try it well, you already have it in your country, but for those who don't live in Poland, try it. See how many people are ready to put that money on the line. This is why we need the multi-stakeholder approach. With, as Joachim Kind said this morning, with a good promotion, a good door opener, but get them on board. So what's the added value of the e-safety kit? Okay, it's pretty. It brings together our best resources for young internauts. It's already in 12 languages, and soon we're going to add Greek, Turkish, and Norwegian. The UK government have just picked up the kit and decided they'll disseminate it in 2 million copies to children and families around the country. There we are, so soon to treble in the amount, more than treble. And it's a new form of promotion. There are a lot of other things that are attached. Poland has created a brilliant website, and now UPC is ready to pay for a website in every country to give more exercises, more activities for young people. I'm not bragging about what we've done, but I'm telling you, we could not have achieved what we've achieved in 4 years without developing a multi-stakeholder approach. We are all very important actors in this. So if I go back to the beginning, what we do get out of this multi-stakeholder approach, and what I think are the ingredients for success, is reach. We need to get out there and get everyone on board. If young people are aware of what cyberbullying is and what can be done about it, perhaps we'll have a little less cyberbullying. If everyone is more aware of what games can do for us and how to avoid the risks, then perhaps we'll get a lot more young people playing games safely and sensibly. Let's remember it's an important part of their development. Secondly, you have to go out and get really knowledgeable partners, like we did for Teach Today when we went out and got the teachers. And thirdly, you have to make sure that the information you're putting out, no matter who you're putting it out to, is factual and it's well balanced. Always the positive and then the negative. But with a well balanced approach, then we'll get a lot more awareness. But there's one thing that no one has mentioned today, and it's something that I've learned from the InSafe awareness nodes. No matter what you're doing, it must be action-oriented. If you're putting out a brochure, it must let the person who's reading your brochure actually act and make a difference, make a change in behavior, because as long as we stay passive, we're not getting anywhere. But when there's this ingredient of acting, receptivity and letting the receiver know that he's got a role and that he can act, he can make a change, that's when we're really going to make a difference. The last thing I want to talk to you about, and I'm probably running out of time, is Safer Internet Day. This has been a very important thing for us. I think you know last year, well, you heard Michael Bush talk about it. 56 countries last year. We're very ambitious. This year, we want 65 countries. And we're creating something called a virtual universal exhibition, where every country will set up its own pavilion to show all the things that you're doing for internet safety. I saw there was someone here from Albania. Is that person? Ah, I want to speak to you. I want a pavilion for Albania. So that's the message, the two messages I'd like to leave you with, and thank you so much for listening.
Well, thanks a lot, Janice, for this not only introduction, but general overview of what InSafe is doing, not only for the awareness nodes, but also for the public, for teachers, and for networking partners. Janice?